What's going on, everybody? Who's ready for some more boom talk? I know everybody's been talking about Warships Season 31 non-stop, absolutely everywhere. No matter where you look, it seems to be where people are and what they're talking about. So I think we should join in, lads, don't you? We got Martin, we got Scully and Shisk on call tonight. There's no Beast tonight, so it's just us guys. Bit of a low-key one. What's going on then, fellas? Scully, you just finished your Warship stream. Absolutely smashed it.
What's up, everybody? Good to be here. Excited, for the week 1 review. I mean, the hype leading up to, season 31 was incredible. And, steamrolling into the first week, the momentum has just been carrying. So, honestly, I'm looking forward to today's discussion.
Yeah, for sure. Martin, are you, what's your thoughts on it? Shisk?
Oh, yeah. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Glad to be here after the first week. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's some of what we'll talk about. But no, I've been having a blast playing it, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback from players by and large. So yeah, I think so far so good.
Yeah. What do you reckon, chat? Are you guys enjoying this season? Are you hyped for it? Are you still keen? I did put a poll out earlier on Facebook to see sort of where people found it in terms of like the other seasons and stuff. A lot of people are saying it's better than previous seasons. Yeah, the majority of people are saying it's better than the previous season. So
I'm enjoying it more than previous seasons, but ironically, it's led me to, because of the complexity of the paths and planning, it's led me to get on with getting this calculator built that I've been kind of wanting to do for a while. So I've kind of really pushed on with that at the expense of pushing on with the season.
Yeah, your calculator got me into trouble, Martin. So,
Did it?
Yeah, of course I
How
did.
so?
I couldn't get shock launchers, could I?
Yeah.
It wasn't that
was
accurate.
before it was. That was before it was even being alpha tested. That was kind of like just its rudimentary stages at that point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot to factor in the fact that you need keys to unlock ERs.
Noob.
But
Yeah,
I've kind of progressed it a bit since then. So no, I'm doing all right.
I was just going to say
18, I think.
trial and error. Like it is coming along, and from what I've seen of it, Martin, it looks awesome. So excited for you to fine tune it and then eventually kind of get the community feedback from it. But I think it's going to be a great resource for the community to use moving forward with Warships. Alongside the tech tree planner as well.
Sure.
That's exactly how I want it to operate, is alongside that tech tree planner, so that the two complement each other. And then at the start of the season, it's just going to make figuring out your early path so much easier. Obviously, in Sugar Ship, there's lots of rudimentary sketches on bits of paper being drawn by various people of possible paths. I'm hoping that this will make that a lot easier.
Should we do the roll call, Scully? Do you want to shout them out? See who's there?
Yeah. I thought we were gonna start like a couple minutes ago. Like we got chat's been building up here, so just give me a second to scroll up here. We're gonna get started here with Aspie Boom Beach, #1 in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Donnie, man, always a pleasure seeing that name there. And I got to read this, man. There are plans for Warriors in 5, but things need to be acquired in 4 first. I'm quite interested to see what you have to say about that later on, Donnie. Ryan, what's up, buddy? We got Paulie Jr. in the chat, man. Big shout out to Paulie. Of course, BBTFRG dropping the commands. Love it. Donnie, good to see you again. Got Blends TV. Nice to see you again. Kevin Anderson Sr., what's up, buddy? Welcome to the live stream. We got BCL as well. Axe Darby. Andromeda, of course, happy birthday. Welcome to the live stream.
Happy birthday.
Roy, what's up, Aaron, Martin, Skull, and Shisk? Roy, what's up, buddy? We're all very happy to be here. Gavin YT, good evening to you as well, my friend. Hank P, as much as I like Shisk, this season for me is no different than any other. I'm a casual player, so pretty much the same stuff, different day. Good insight from the casual player there. Nothing wrong with that, Hank. Wyatt, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the live stream. Blaze Beer, double sup, right back at you. I don't want to repeat anybody. We got a lot of the same names. Just giving love to everybody. Fez, man, great to see you, man. Welcome to the live stream. Philip Shaw, how you doing, guys? We got Christian S as well. 3 Dots, welcome. And, of course, Gaming with Candy, great to see you as well. I apologize if I miss anyone. Mr. Pwong, I think I got everyone, Aaron.
Yeah, I can see Blackadder.
Blackadder, thank you. Sorry, bud.
Is it Rishi Cash and a couple of others.
On Doppelhauer.
They're all just popping in right now. They're at the end.
3 Dots asking if this is about Everdale.
Hey, 3 Dots. I was actually logged in this morning and before Boom Talk here, so I got my tasks moving. I'm collecting my my resources. We're moving along. I know what he's saying though, because there was like 3 days where I didn't log in. Warships, just kind of takes over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So where should we start then, guys? I guess you guys are the ones who are sort of playing it strategically. I guess you guys should kick us off.
I think I'd be interested to see where Shishka Bobber would like to start off with, considering this is his tech tree. He's probably the one that's got the most feedback so far.
Sure.
With regards to the tech tree.
Are you happy with the first week of your season? I think is a
that's a good question, Martin.
Good place to start.
Oh yeah, I'd say the first week of the season's gone off really well. As you recall, I mentioned that originally I had Scorchers where they had Bombardiers and vice versa. That was a Supercell made, so I was a little unsure how that would play out initially, but it's been great. I really love the competitive metas that we see between Bombardiers and Warriors. So that's great, and a lot of people have been moving into the 5ER zone. I haven't gone there yet. I just lose every time I fight them, pretty much. I think I've beat one of them so far. So I haven't seen that yet firsthand. So far so good. I have some reservations going forward, though, as I look deeper into the tree.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay, to expand, what's your concerns there?
So this gets back into a couple of the changes that were made on the tree, and one of the ones that was made was on a stat node that I had put down on the 5ER detour. Well, the 5ER path that has all those lovely stat nodes. There's 2 troop health. One of those troop health should have been troop damage. Well, as I had designed it at least. And for whatever reason, they put it to troop health. And as I'm thinking about the balance of stats going forward, I'm just thinking we have a lot of health on the troops. We have a lot of health on the building. Not a lot of health on the damage side for the DBD. And, defensive damage, our troop damage is okay. But it could be better. I'm not sure what this is going to bring. It's going to bring different metas.
For sure.
That's what I see.
Scotty coming in with the 199 US. Big shout out to you, Scotty.
That's all Ferns, man.
We will spin the wheel, but we'll spin the wheel after the stream tonight. Once we've done Boom Talk, we'll spin the wheel for the prizes for the guys who don't know. So stick around for that. I'll give you a shout afterwards if you win anything good.
By the way, that was Ferns Mac. Just assuming that I am lit. I just need to reassure Ferns I am not lit.
Just for the
thank you for the donation.
Always lit.
For the guys who don't know, a couple of streams ago we implemented a prize wheel for the people who donate. Just a little way of giving something back to the guys who are always donating. You can win critter coins and things like that. You get to mute people in chat. There's a load of different fun ones on there, but there's a couple on there that are really worth it. You can get an Artie keychain or a t-shirt if you get really lucky.
If you're going to have mute people in chat, aren't you better off spinning it now rather than at the end of the stream?
Well, yeah, you can always hold that until later, innit? You can mute somebody at a later date. So yeah, we'll do the prize wheel after Boom Talk instead of it just sort of interrupt everything tonight,
We don't want the prize wheel to take over. That's the point.
Yeah. But anybody who donates, we will spin the wheel so you get your prizes later. No worries.
But yeah, I want to say a little more on that though. So as I've been going through the season and going through the tree, I've been remembering some of the stuff that I was thinking about when I designed it. Because you guys got to remember, it was about 6 months ago now that I actually did it. And part of that was remembering how I was going over doing the balancing of stats in my mind. And it was tricky because, there's a lot of protos out here, a lot of stuff we haven't seen. And I wanted to err on the side of caution to begin with, obviously. But I was looking at it as looking at the DBD. How much DBD do I give, right? Well, there was 1. Well, how much troop health do we give? Well, I had 2. But now there's 3. Now there's 3, and I just feel like that ratio of 3 to 1 is a lot more than 2 to 1, and that could be problems.
Yeah, I feel you on that one for sure.
Somebody posted in chat just a moment ago. Where was it? I thought mechs were done for the season, but with the DBD, they're back. Dr. Phoenix, in fact, had posted that. So,
it's crazy. Players are still actually using mechs and bombas in 5ER. Obviously, they have to stick to their path, or else they would have detoured, and picked up riflemen. But I'm still kind of blown away by that as well. That players are still actually winning, in 5ER with mechs and bombas. I thought the mech window closed. No, mechs are still shining.
I'm using a couple of boats of mechs for meat shield at 3ER.
I'm still using all mechs and Sparky in 2ER on my non-IT accounts, and I'm only playing them just for fun and the intel.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a scream. They're a riot, and they do exactly what you said, Shish. You can go through 3-4 battles and lose 1 or 2 mechs. I have absolutely no problem on my non-IT accounts collecting all 4 chests on a daily basis and not having to wait for troops.
Yeah,
I can do it, and yeah, that absolutely they are.
So that also does have to kind of attest to the fact that, even on last week's Boom Talk, Shishka Barber did make the point that, he thought of the non-IT players for the tech tree, and you yourself, Martin, explaining that you were just playing with your 2ER account, no instant training, you got no problem picking up those chests with mechs. So once again, I think the no IT players would agree, because I think they will relate with you. I mean, I'm an IT player, right? So I just bypassed all that.
Donnie,
of course.
Donnie's in chat.
Yeah.
Just wait till the end. Just wait till the troop health. All you non-IT players, I'm going to be your god. You'll thank me at the end of the season. I didn't even do that, so you can thank Supercell. But yeah.
Donnie said max rocket launchers with the DBD is wrecking rifles, so they're back to mechs. So
that makes sense.
As that DVD was
which is great. Which is mad, because that rifles window was huge when it opened. 24, 36 hours, or maybe 48 hours ago, when that rifles window opened, it was huge, and so many people pushed. So many sugar ship made it to diamond on the back of that rifles window, and now people are getting maxed RLs and picking up that DBD. The window's just slammed shut, and it's back to mechs again.
Yeah.
and so many people have avoided heavies because it's up that path that you really want to travel?
Heavy
Waste
rushing
those
is
keys.
apparently a thing. Like, I haven't seen it on me yet. Like, I've gone back and watched replays because I want to catch one. But there's a handful of players out there that took that detour, dead end, Zuka's heavy, and, some even picked up brick. Is there anybody even in the YouTube chat that has actually tried out heavy rushing with brick?
I haven't seen anything like that yet.
So there's one thing to note, like when I had the Scorchers in the tree originally in the place of Bombardiers, what I had kind of envisioned might happen is that Scorchers would then come across the Zukas later on, and we might have a possible Scorcher Zuka meta. And this is why that whole path of the tree seems a little bit weird now with Scorchers, heavies, and brick, because I was hoping to link it up to the Scorchers that ended up getting moved to the end of the tree. That's why they're kind of just off on their own in a weird way. It's not as synergized as it would have been, just so you know.
Ben says he's been
Gavin-
heavy rushed.
Gavin YT has just asked, remind us of the topic of tonight. Basically, it's a season 31 1-week review. We're just going to kind of talk about how people have found season 31, the metas that they've encountered. We've got Shisk and Scully on chat, to obviously Shish because it's his tree, and Scully because he's an OG Warship player, and it's Boom Talk, which is why he's here. Just discuss sort of how this first week's gone.
Yeah, we did Warships. We did Boom Talk last week with Shisk after the sneak peeks, but before the season actually started. So this is just like a follow-up to that, really, to see where everybody's at now and see what people think, and see how the predicted strategies are changing. I think.
It's one thing I think we should mention and talk about, I guess, is players' initial reaction on, because keep in mind, Mech and Sparky were switched, on the first day within like first hour of the season premiere. So a few players actually got to experience like multiple Sparkies on their, landing craft, and at the same time too, if they upgraded Sparky or Mechs, when the nodes were switched, I believe they were brought right back down to zero. Is there anybody in the YouTube chat that was actually, affected by that? Because I know the tokens that Supercell gave out didn't accommodate everything, especially if you took your Sparky and your Mech to, let's say, both of them tick 3 or tick 4. Did anybody actually, don't? Okay, I guess Paulie.
Well, first, I want to clarify how I'm understanding how that bug works.
Yeah,
it's maybe not as grave as you think. First of all, it's a UI thing. Let's say you upgraded Sparky before they switched her to tick 3. And you didn't touch your mechs, and then they switched it. Well, now it looks like your mechs are tick 3 and Sparky's tick 1. But if you actually go and you look at her info tab, you'll see that she's still tick 3. Yeah. However, a couple of problems can still happen. If you want to upgrade her to tick 4, you're going to have to pay for ranks 2 and 3 again. Another problem is, let's say that how does this one work? Let's say that you upgraded your mech to max. And then, it's before the switch. Then it switched over. Well, now Sparky's max, but she's not really max. So if you wanted to upgrade her, it's impossible. You see? There's a couple of problems that have actually happened because of that bug. But a lot of people really weren't screwed over, even though they thought they were.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Warships without a bug, though, would it? That's,
Of course. And you know how the bug happens because of my tree. Because, there was a hero right there in that first troop spot where I guess they have code that automatically loads the landing crafts with that. I didn't know. Oops.
Yeah, I guess true, no kidding. I guess that's important information. You think information like that, they'd give you prior to, using your tech tree, or at least somebody at Boom Beach would have caught that before it went live.
What's funny is I actually did ask when I was making that particular decision on the tree. I'm not holding this against them. I just asked because I was asking them, is it okay to give a hero for free? I'm planning on doing it at the beginning of the tree. I phrased it like that, and they said, sure, whatever you want, just, Yeah.
It's a shame that nobody actually got to attack with 9 boats of Sparky, because that would have been pretty funny to watch.
Now, I think Donnie just mentioned in the chat right there. I launched 27 Spark. I don't think we actually saw the 27 Sparkies though, because I tried to do the same thing where
just
I was like, first battle, I'm going to launch them all. Yeah, it just crashed it.
Just crashed it. Yeah.
would have been cool to act. That would have been a worthy screenshot. Like literally 27 Sparkies, and I bet you all Sparkies would have been synchronized to the same GBE ability. So can you imagine like 27 remote hacks, 27 critter swarms?
But if
Can
they
you
were all
imagine the
synced,
lag? The lag would be crazy.
if they were all synced, if they were all synced to the same remote GVA, they'd all be trying to hack the same.
Yes.
The critter swarm would have been the most effective one.
Critter
'cause
swarm
they
would have
all been. Yeah.
Can you imagine using the demolition charge though? All of those bombs going off. That'd have been pretty good. That'd have been pretty good.
Hey, I was actually
Well,
having.
that was just per boat, mind you. It was like, one Sparky per each unit in the boat. So you would have had like 200 Sparkies on the deck if you were able to drop them all.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
That would have been insane.
That would have been insane. I mean, literally, the critters themselves would have just flooded, the deck layouts.
So I mean, the lag would have been absolutely crazy.
For me, I upgraded my Spark on one of my accounts. I didn't upgrade either. On the other account, I upgraded Sparky to tick 3 before the switch. When the switch happened, I got the 3 keys, but at the time I was in a position where I was a few keys short of barrage. So those 3 keys I sunk straight into barrage, and that flew me up, I think, from 14 to 17 straight away. So although I lost out on Sparky, I actually gained because I was able to pick up barrage on the early meta on that account, which jumped me 3 ranks. So the rank chest that I picked up from that far outweighed the cost of what I'd spent on Sparky. So, for me, it was swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm just distracted. I'm just plugging us in game quick. So people are asking to see our deck layouts and stuff for 3. So there's not gonna be no gameplay tonight because it's just chatting. So I've not even got my capture card and nothing set up to do it. So I can always put a screenshot or something for you in the Funox chat for you after the stream if you want to see it. I've lost my chat. Where were we? What's going on? Only me, Vicky, and Mike. What's going on, guys? Tuning in. I've lost all my comments.
Cameron just said in chat that he's playing with 7 boats this season because he still has one of his landing crafts with Sparky, and he doesn't want to get rid of it.
Thing is, though, as soon as you land that boat, it crashes, doesn't it?
That's a flex, though. It means he's cautiously being careful of dropping 7 landing crafts, and then at the same time, too, that means he's winning with 7 landing crafts.
And that's sickening right there.
Yeah, that is. You're a beast, Cameron.
So yeah, come on, guys. We want to hear from you guys in chat. What do you think about this season? Is it better than previous seasons? Would you like to see more seasons where the community can get involved in creating the tech trees and all that kind of thing? Obviously, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, does it? But would you like to see
my
that?
My fear with that would be that you get random. I mean, you listen to Shisk speak, and clearly he's thought out about balance and metas and DBD versus TH, BH versus TD. He's thought about all these things to keep it balanced throughout the season, the evolving metas and things like that. The worry with other people designing the tree is that it's not thought out in the same way, and you don't end up with that same balance, and it ends up being either overly defensive or overly offensive, and it just isn't. This is fun because it is balanced, and that really, I think, is the key to it, is keeping it balanced.
And Polly's, sorry, Aaron.
Just quickly in chat. Polly's just saying, wonder if next season's is created by another boom tuber, Commanding for Years. Is that the name? Has anybody seen that? I'm not sure where that name's actually come from, but
that was on the next month in Boom Beach video that was released. Yeah,
I probably should have watched that.
But
I just want to touch on one of Martin's. Sorry, Martin.
Isn't it to celebrate the amount of time that they've been running it now?
Maybe, yeah, Commanding for Years.
Sorry, go on, Scully.
Oh no, just you brought up a good point with Shisk Bobber and the tech tree, and like the amount of thought that actually went into balancing and just all that in general. And it's not like if Supercell just reached out to any of us boom tubers and we're like, okay guys, we want you to design the next tech tree. I mean, keep in mind, Shisk Bobber did design an original tech tree that was essentially proofread by Supercell, and they made changes that they thought needed to be made. you know, if the same thing were to happen and any one of us, you know, were to, you know, make a tech tree and send it to Supercell, you know, it's not like if we were to put heavy choppers, you know, as a starting troop that they would just allow it. I'm just saying that I think serious changes would be made, you know, considering I think Shisk said that it was like 3 or 4 nodes were changed. I mean, if you look at the amount of nodes that are on the tech tree, that's a damn good tech tree. You know, I'm just throwing this out there. If I were to put one together, they'd probably end up changing like, you know, 25, 30 of them, 40 of them.
We are in the
So,
boombox,
yeah,
guys.
In fact, how confident would you be, Skull, in building a tech tree?
Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I've played this game for, you know, 31 seasons now, or at least Warships for 31 seasons. I've seen 31 tech trees. You know, I'm sure I could probably draft a decent one, but I mean, like, I'll be honest with you guys, and I've said this on my stream, like, I have no intentions of putting together,
No,
you know,
me neither.
a tech tree. You know, I appreciate the work that Shish Kebabers put into it, and you know, this is building a tech tree is not for everyone. You guys got to understand that as well. It's not like, you know, it's a school project. Okay, Shish Kebaber gets an A+. Okay, now it's Aaron's turn, Op's turn, Gavin's turn, or sorry, Skull's turn. You know, and just going. I just said my real name. Jeez Louise. And what's it called? Yeah. So I mean, I appreciate what Shish Kebaber's done here, and you know, like I said, there's no bad blood, there's no jealousy here. You know, I commend the man for, you know, the thought that he put into it and the fact that Supercell took it and made minor changes to it. If I were to draft one, I'm telling you there'd be a lot more changes.
I couldn't do it. Or I could, well, I could. You know, obviously anybody could just throw the things together. But I'd put all the good stuff up front, all the rubbish stuff at the back, and just let everybody fight it out with whatever they want from the start of the season.
Oh yeah, I'd give heavy choppers and bullet would be the free troops for me.
Yeah, have all the boosts, have all the best troops, have it all up front, and let's see who's got what it takes.
I've heard that thrown around a few times this season. Like, oh, you know, now like other content creators should, you know, design one. Other content creators should build one. Well, I mean, you know, frankly, you know, you should see if the content creator actually wants to build one. Because yeah, like I'll be honest with you guys, like just like Aaron said as well, I have no intentions of designing one. You know, I enjoy playing it and streaming it. You know, I don't want to go behind the scenes and design what I'm gonna end up streaming. Massive conflict of interest.
Let's face it. I mean, I think, was it Aaron? You were saying that, you know, it's a risk too. Like, I mean, you're not going to make everybody happy. So
yeah,
you know,
exactly. It's
you
what I was
want to
saying
just
on
wind
Scully's
up
thing. Yeah,
hitting people.
100%.
Yeah.
The backlash that
running
you
the
get
risk.
for not, you know, you can't please everybody. So there's inevitably going to be people who are upset with the tree or not going to like it for one reason or the other. You know, it is what it is.
I personally deleted a couple of posts from our Facebook group that have been a little bit too, shall we say, derogatory towards the tree designer.
I've seen one or two.
It's kind of like, come on, you know, there's no need for that. Let's have that out.
Bore off,
You know, I mean, I will say this: players are, you know, entitled to their opinion on the tech tree. You know, if these players that are commenting on the tech tree have actually played 31 seasons of Warships and, you know, realize the actual diversity and the difference from this season in comparison to the previous 30, you know, they'd realize how much more it actually does stand out. And, you know, how much more enjoyable, you know, it is to play. And I think also a lot of players that have never actually used the mech before, like, you got to understand, Shish Kebaber, you know, he said as well that he uses mechs, Grens with Sparky. You know, it's a fun meta to use. You know, a lot of players don't use those troops. So to see them at the start of the tech tree, it's just easy, very easy just to assume and, you know, call it out. Oh, we got bad troops to start. We got bad troops to start. Well, you know, give it a go, you know, before you want to make that assumption.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I've actually really enjoyed playing with mechs.
That's also why I needed clearance. That's why I needed clearance for Sparky, because I had to give you guys Sparky if it was ever going to work. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, I had to force it.
So, I mean, like, I just think a lot of, like, you know, the shade and, you know, the haters are just coming from players that, A, aren't comfortable and haven't used mech and Grens, you know, before.
It gets back to that point of you're not going to please everyone. And I get it. It's not going to hurt my feelings. It's okay. I listen. Feedback's nice. When I obviously can't read all the feedback, but I appreciate it, you know, good or bad.
But
feedback
overall, from the community that plays the game, we love it, man. Like, it's definitely more in favor than against.
It's really got me intrigued.
Groove's just hit the nail on the head. If you stick your neck out, someone will chop at it. 100%.
I know.
Oh, that's so. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I'd never used mechs before this season. There might be like once or twice I use like one boat of them on crab for something, but to generally use them and repeatedly use them and learn sort of their behavior, so to speak. Until this season, I'd never done it.
Shout out to Beast Mode in the chat there, obviously watching from work. What's up, mate?
Yeah, now would be a good time to spin the prize wheel and mute somebody in chat.
Mute Beast.
Just saying. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I've enjoyed playing with mechs. You know, at 2ER, using all mechs and the bullet teleport trick and that, I was having loads of fun.
The teleport cheat, you mean?
Yeah, it's the one.
Just a massive glitch, unintended feature.
Unintended feature, yeah. 100%. ASU dude says, Styles make fights. This season already has a number of different metas, and the windows which have opened and shut in 6 days in, it's been amazing. Which is pretty apt, I think. Most people can agree that people have found a strategy that works really well 1 minute, and then they've gone to play it that evening, and it's just not working at all.
Absolutely.
That's playing Warriors. It changes so fast. So fast. I mean, obviously, that's a window that's closing, faster and faster by the hour, but I mean, it's still doable. And like Shisk Bomber even hit rank 20 with Warriors, which also shows that it's possible. And 4ER is dirty. Like if you're 4ER right now, like, rank 18, 19, mid to high 19 going into 20, not only are you in, 5ER waters, but like everyone is starting to, get the second Sky Shield, the Doom Cannon. There was a global player, I think the only 4ER, the best 4ER player, I think his name was Kovitz. He's like global, when I saw this morning, he was like global 144. 155, and he was a 4ER, rank 22, I believe, or high rank 21, rank 22, and just 2 Sky Shields, Doom Cannon, 100% troop damage, 100% building health, 50% troop health. It just really dirty. So unless you're going dirty 4, keep on the path and get to 5, because 4 is just, it's getting disgusting.
3ER is pretty gross as well now. The layouts the layouts at 3 are pretty gross, but the attack strategy is just super easy. You're only killing one engine room and you're biting the rest. I've only played since season 12. This is the most versatility in attacks and defense. Yeah, 100%. So, what are your guys thinking that the end meta? I've seen lots of discussion on what people think the end meta is going to be. What are you guys thinking on that front?
Well, for those that actually complete the tech tree, because keep in mind, like a massive amount of players, will either stay 5, stay 6, and not go 7. So the fact that Heavy Chopper is that first unlock after 7 ER, massive incentive to get to 7. But it's the last troop on the tech tree to unlock. I mean, is it going to be the effective meta in the end game here? Seekers are right there after 6 ER as well. I don't know. It just kind of shows how well the tech tree is designed here. It's hard for me.
Aspie Boom Beach has just said Heavy Chopper Bomber Kavan. The thing is with that is that's so many keys that you're going to be so light on defense unless you've hit legendary early. That is Heavy Chopper Bomber Kavan actually going to be a meta, or is your base going to still be able to be wiped out by Warriors because you will be missing rocket launchers? Because they got them at the start, but you will be missing shock launchers, you'll be missing protos because you've rushed to Kavan and the Heavy Choppers. Again, comes back to that balancing of the tree. And it's easy to say that it will be that standard meta, but I'm not so sure.
Heavy Chopper isn't anything unless you've got heavies unlocked, which is true.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let me tell you what I think it might be, because that's part of the point. This is going to sound crazy, but I think it might be. And ask me next week, it might be something else. But I think it might be Sparky,
Warriors.
Scorcher, Bombardier.
Warriors, Rocket Chopper. Just because I want to see something.
No. Definitely Sparky, Scorcher, Bombardier.
I'll tell you why. I think
it's because people that want to fill out this tech tree, they can't afford to go to Bullet, go to Kavan, whatever. If they're shooting to Heavy Chopper, Well, I mean, well, first of all, they want to shoot the heavy chopper, they got to get heavies. But if they do want to do that, which eventually they will, they're going to have to get the Scorchers first. And I think you're going to see that just prevailing so much more. And I don't even know in the end, maybe with all the troop health, I just don't know how it's going to play out. Because I think the Scorchers are probably going to be doing more damage than the heavy choppers. I don't know.
The other thing I think that a lot of people have forgotten or haven't considered is that with a heavy chopper poops out a heavy. And correct me if I'm wrong, Shish. 100 seconds you get of a heavy chopper pooping out heavies?
No, you get 10
10
heavies.
10
10 heavies, and it's 6 seconds. The first one drops 6 seconds after the heavy chopper is deployed, meaning 1 minute and 6 seconds after deployment is the last heavy that drops.
And these hits on these 250 building health bases are going to take a lot longer than 1 minute 6 seconds. So once those heavies stop pooping out of the heavy chopper, that's what you've got. That's what you're working with. And I think that that's a factor that's a lot of people probably haven't considered and will rush the heavy chopper, try the heavy chopper rush, and suddenly find themselves short of a meat shield.
You know how you solve that? The bullet players. You get a bullet in there with your taunt or whatever you're using, and I think for the players that do have bullet or are planning on getting bullet once they get to 7, which is also, it's a lot of tokens because you're branching off into ER to get bullet. But I think unless you have bullet, Martin, I don't think that's going to work. So I think you're onto something.
Well, that's the thing, is if you've gone bullet early, you're probably behind the breaking wave that is leading the way, which means you're not going to make 7 ER because you're going to get caught in that melee of diamond, of gold pushing for diamond. So you're probably not going to have the keys and tokens to make 7 ER. The only people that are actually going to be able to do that are those that have ridden the wave early, got to diamond early, got 7 unlocked, and then gone back for bullet. And I don't see that being overly many people.
Christian just said, in my opinion, with all the troop health, there's no need for Kavan, choppers or scorchers, whatever, just Gramps on the back.
But you need a meat shield. You have to protect those Gramps.
There's enough troop health out there that you can use pretty much anything, I think is what he's trying to say.
To be honest,
I'm pretty...
A Scorcher will have 107,000 health. Okay, I ran some numbers.
What's a boom cannon? What's a boom? Sorry, no,
the Scorcher will have 107,000 health at full troop health. That is a ton.
That's ridiculous.
How much damage is a boom cannon doing with the maximum building damage?
It's gonna take, like, I did the shot calculations. It's something like, it's ridiculous, man. I don't remember because I ran it for heavy choppers and Scorchers. It's a lot, like 15 or 30, or it was one of those numbers, man. It's way up there. They can take a ton of shots.
So if you are maxing out the troop health and you're hitting with Scorchers, it's taking a max level boom cannon with the maximum amount of building damage, 15 plus shots to take out a Scorcher?
I think so. No, get this.
Wow.
Rocket choppers can get shot by a boom cannon that does not have DBD and live.
Christ.
Hey, that's huge.
So it's going to be different, guys. I don't know. I didn't put that much on there, but I would have had 100. So still
there's another factor with that troop health as well, because obviously Bullet's energy drink scales to the amount of troop health you've got, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. He's the strongest hero, but I don't know if he's the meta for the reasons like we talked about, with tech choices and stuff. Yeah.
So Bullet with energy drink is going to have a colossal amount of health. It's somewhat like Bullet with energy drink on Crab.
It's going to be different. I guarantee that. I don't know where this is going.
No.
I'm a bit worried, I'll be honest. I don't know. It's out of balance, I think.
It's definitely going to be different by the end of the season, for sure. Just quickly before we move on, I just want to say hi to everybody who's jumped in tonight. Megamind, Aspie, Christian, we've got Kim. Got loads of new names in here, guys, tonight. Smack Dubious. Who else we got? Eric Smith, what's on? Jiggle Boom Beach. Loads of new people in here tonight. I've probably missed so many. What's going on, Groove? Soupy Bread.
Op Destroy just jumped in.
What's happening, Op? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Vicky Coleman. There's loads of new names in here tonight. So yeah, big shout out to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Means a lot. Thanks for hanging out.
Before we move on there, can I just add one more point on to the Scorcher and all that troop health?
Sure.
I mean, if you do plan on doing that route, I mean, you got to keep in mind, before you go 6ER, you either branch down, you get your rocket chopper, your shock mines, you continue down that path to pick up those troop health nodes, then you go 6ER and get your Scorcher, or, you continue down the path, go 6ER to get Scorcher, and then backtrack for that troop health. All I'm saying is that's a lot of chests, that's a lot of tokens.
Yep.
To branch down that path, pick up those 2 additional troop health nodes, get your butt back to the main path, and then continue. So
That's
I
like some rabbit hole.
I like the thought. I like the thought that went into that.
Hey, OB, are you busy? We'd love to get you on and get your opinion on this stuff. Get another boom tuber on the call. What do you reckon? If you're not busy. X-Rap Yoda. Hey everyone, what's going on? Death Star 73. A couple more new names. What's going on, guys?
Because Op Destroy is using Bullet too, is he not?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got him.
Superbread says, I have zero conviction on any tech tree decisions I'm making. So, yeah,
oh, you're one of those.
Most people just playing it by ear, I think, in there at this point. Just seeing what works, hoping for the best.
On day 2, I was looking at the tech tree and I was thinking, well, if I do that, I can afford this. But if I do that, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. And that's what led me to start to say doing this spreadsheet. And ever since then, I've got so far. But that's what this tech tree has done. It's really made you think about saving keys to unlock that further down the line, saving tokens to be able to upgrade that in 2 chests time. It's just really made you. It's made you consider every single step of the way.
Yeah, no problem, Op Destroy.
Yeah, no worries, Up.
Yep.
Maybe next time.
Glad I could inspire thought.
Yeah. That's what it's done for me, and I think that's from what I read about, across the community. That's what it's done for a lot of people. It's really made them kind of consider what they're going to do, not just in the now, but what they're going to do next, and even beyond next.
Yeah.
Not only that, but what are the other people going to do? And it just gets crazy. And what are the other people going to think that you're going to do? And no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it goes nuts. It goes deep.
Yep.
Just want to say shout out to Pete Minstrel. We got Pirate Pete popping in the chat.
What's going on, Pete?
What's up, Pete?
Megamind says, as a non-IT player, I'm sticking to 3ER until I can get the Scorchers. So there's somebody else planning on Scorchers. Do you really think?
Well, now that I've got that,
do you think Scorchers are going to have enough damage with there being so much building health?
I don't think the damage matters.
With Bombardier.
I suppose, it's Bombardiers, yeah, meat shield, yeah. Brain fart.
Bombas get it done, and plus that troop health, man. If they're taking 14, 15 shots from a boom cannon, that boom cannon is literally tickling them. They're giving the Bombas all the time in the world to do what they need to do.
Scorcher rushing.
Yeah, we didn't even touch on Scorcher rushing. Scorcher rushing.
That's a fair point.
Because it's one. Because remember, it's not 2 Scorchers per landing craft. It's 1, so that's 8 Scorchers on the rush there. By that point, most players probably will have shock launchers, which will most likely be your biggest threat. I think whether you have bullet or not, those Scorchers are taking a beating.
And that's going to mean people switching their Sky Shields to Doom Cannons, which is going to be more diamonds. So Supercell are going to love this season. So,
more diamonds.
Shish, you may have a full-time job designing tech trees. I hope you've got some in the bank.
I try to make everyone happy, but I know that's not possible. Yeah.
No, unfortunately, not in this world.
What's going on, Double D? Welcome to the stream.
Well, technically, what's up, Double D? If Supercell didn't make that change on his tech tree, we would have seen Scorcher rushing for 3ER.
That would have been insane.
That would have been insane.
That would have been absolutely insane.
And
that was sort of what I was thinking, and then that would transition to Scorcher Zuka. It would have been even more diverse metas, but it's totally fine. I don't mind the way.
I'm a little bummed out they made that change, man, because that would have been fun to try. I mean, once again, Scorchers would have been part of an early meta. We can recall one season where they actually, shined.
Well, and I didn't want you guys to be stuck with mechs forever either, because I know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, mechs suck, they're slow. But I'm going to force them on you at the start, but, give you a way out right away. But no. So, okay. There it is.
this season's working really well, and I think one of the reasons is the fact that we've got the slightly inflated chest values. But Shish, how do you think this season would have gone if it had been a 28D season where we have the slightly deflated chest value rewards?
Oh, I think it would have been great. I think you guys already hit the nail on the head in terms of how quickly the metas have been evolving and stuff like that. So to slow that down a little bit over a 4-week period, I think would play out just fine.
I think it actually would have made it a little bit better even.
Yeah, maybe.
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps it would even be better. Yeah, because maybe it is moving almost too fast in some ways.
In some ways,
I'm
I
always
think,
hoping for a shorter season. I mean, for me, when I'm playing Warships, I like to have decent chest rewards because it's nothing worse when you feel like you're grinding for nothing, especially when you're saving to do a jump or if you're saving to get a piece of tech that you actually need to be able to start winning. You know, just having those couple of extra keys and a couple of extra tokens in those chests just makes it feel less grindy, you know?
Oh, that's actually no, that's completely true. I've got another question here with Shisk with regards to his tech tree and just with players hitting legendary. So legendary rank 1 opens up on the tech tree in 11 hours, 17 minutes. So half a day, less than half a day, legendary opens up. If we actually go to the global leaderboard right now, you know, the top players right now, and there's 4 of them that are at rank 25 with 0 stars. Shish, did you anticipate players to hit legendary rank pretty much as soon as it opened up with the tech tree? Like, I'm sure there was some, you know, thought and consideration put into when, you know, top players would be hitting legendary with your tech tree.
Well, I mean, in this regard, I just assumed a typical season progression. So, no, I guess in this regard, I wouldn't have anticipated quite this many people knocking on Legendary's door at this moment. I guess it's due to increased activity, which makes more stars. So there's more stars in the star pool. So people are taking them and climbing up to the top.
Yeah, that's true.
Right on.
That's true. That more activity does generate more stars in the pool. So maybe that's
yeah, because they come from and it's being generated where stars are generated, because obviously with those more players who aren't losing troops hand over fist down there in the lower ranks that are they're winning 10 stars per win and losing, was it 6-7 stars per defeat? You know, every battle they win, they're net 3 stars up, which there's your, before you even start talking about bonus stars, there's stars being created hand over fist all over the place, and there's only one place those stars are going, and that's upwards.
Yeah, true. Double D, I generated a bunch, lost almost 400 battles. There's lots of talk about cooking in the chat. You guys are making me hungry.
I think Pete's cooking a roast.
Yeah, it's making me hungry.
I did roast lamb for dinner today. It was bloody delicious.
Now you're just making us even more hungry.
We did roast turkey. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? Yeah, roast turkey was good.
Nice.
So I'd like to ask the chat then. I'm sure some people have some feedback here. You know, what does everybody like, you know, about the season? What do you guys like best about the season so far? You know, I'm sure a lot of you will have, you know, a lot of different answers and just
what's been your highlight?
Yeah, thank you.
For me, it's been hitting gold on stream, and when we didn't really expect to. I was just really only playing just for the bounce more than anything, just to hang out with people in chat and whatnot. But we actually ended up like streaking all the way to gold, didn't we, Martin? Went on like a 15 win streak.
Yeah, that was right.
From like rank 12
all because you didn't have shock launchers.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, went from rank 12 or something to 16, and I'm now basically up to 18 as well. I've been playing off stream. I know, right? I've actually played off stream. I haven't let my chest max.
Mate, you're gonna get.
That's how you know. That's how I know. That's how I know you're having fun, Aaron. You're playing Warships off stream.
Yeah, and I'm not letting my chest max either, which is probably the only. I think the last time I played Warships enough to say that I didn't let my chest max was probably season 4 or 5, maybe.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's, you know, if it's bringing players back, if it's bringing me back, that's got to be a highlight for me.
I don't know if Supercell will be able to tell us. I think Nunu said it was a no, but I mean, like, I'd love to know the numbers of like the Warship player pool, like
oh my
the total
God. Me too.
after season 31.
I love to see one of them stats things. You know, they sometimes put the stats post up on the socials.
Yeah. Show us. Oh, we got a bot. We got a bot. I want that.
One of the things that I'd quite like to know, and again, probably question best directed at Shisk, is I think a lot of the reason that this tree has been so interesting is the change in
candy.
The change in offensive metas. Do you think that this is replicable in following seasons by just messing with the tech tree and putting scorchers up front, or you know, something crazy like that? Can we get this sort of thing going again?
Well, yeah, but not through craziness. I mean, you know what I mean? It has to be through thought, right? But yeah. It's not just random though. It's not a shotgun approach. That's for sure.
I'd like to see a season where we get Scorchers to start and like they name it something like Playing with Fire or just something ridiculous.
Yeah. And then obviously, you know, you sort of base it around, you know, then everything would have to be balanced around the fact that you had Scorchers at the start, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, I absolutely no idea how you go about designing a tree, as I think probably 99% of the community would be as well. But yeah,
so the one theme, here's the theme I picked up on through playing Warships and just, you know, kind of getting burned down on Warships throughout the seasons too. It's that, you know, certain troops have certain strengths in Warships. These strengths, though, are different than probably the strengths they're using to calculate, okay? Because the strengths they use to calculate, I'm talking about like when they balance their spreadsheets in Supercell, they've got probably these big metrics that count all the offense. Each one of those offense, like troops has a score, right? An offensive score. They count all the defenses. All those defensive buildings have a certain score, and they're probably balanced this way. The problem is it doesn't work in Warships because Warships has another component called time. So time matters in Warships, and I don't think any of that's ever been in their balance. So what you have to know is the relative balance of these troops, and the way I try to introduce them in a way that gives a diverse season is you have to introduce the weaker ones before the stronger ones. If you introduce the stronger ones, I'm looking at you, Heavy Chopper, first, there's no room for the weaker ones.
Yeah, you'll never need the weaker ones,
right?
Yeah,
he nailed it, which is exactly why Supercell for the previous 30 seasons has not given us OP troops to start.
Well, do you remember when Heavy Choppers first hit the decks? I think they were available in 4. Were they not Heavy Choppers, Rocket Choppers?
No, it was Rocket Choppers. There's been 2 or 3 seasons where they've given us RCs to start, and obviously, like it's still a great troop, but it's not as powerful OP as the Heavy Chopper.
But I'm sure we had a season when Heavy Choppers first hit the deck. We got Heavy Choppers in 4ER, and it was just
and it was just Heavy Chopper Rush the entire season.
That might have been the first season they introduced them, I think
it was the first one.
I think they learned from their mistake and realized that this is a troop that needs to be 6.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell you where you can see. I can tell you where you can see footage of that season. You know, the BBTFRG promo video that got made a couple of years ago, Martin.
Oh yeah.
There's footage of that season in that video.
Okay.
Of us doing all Heavy Chopper Rush at 4ER.
It was just absurd, wasn't it? This time, half a deck, not even half a ship's worth of deck being swarmed by what seemed like thousands of heavies.
Yeah, I remember that. That's what I mean. See, I like seasons like that though. I like like right now at 3ER, it's a couple of boats of mechs or a couple of boats of Grens for Meat Shield. All Gramps and Barrage is the meta. I like that because I like to do the attacks nice and quick. I like to get them over and done with on to the next one. It's when they get so long and drawn out and it goes down to a wire, you know, it's just, that's where it gets boring for me. HC fix that, yeah.
which I think has been the repetitive nature, you know, the last, 10, 15, 20 seasons, which is why a lot of players have gotten a little bit burnt out and, wanting that change in Warships. And, I cannot recall a previous season other than the season 3 and 4 or whenever they introduced bombas and then seekers and then the flying troops, because those were 3 new things that we never had before, so those were exciting seasons. And then compared to those ones moving forward, it's been the same kind of repetitive nature on the tech tree, heavies, heavy rush, yada yada, and rinse and repeat. Whereas now we have a tech tree that heavy rushing is not the meta. It's barely the meta. It's not even come close to being the meta. So, which shows that, Shisk has done an excellent job, and that's just on what the main meta has been for the previous X amount of seasons. And then you were even mentioning before about the balancing, about having a Scorcher up front and all the other stuff that comes into play with that, which just really shows you the in-depth planning that actually goes to planning a tech tree. I wouldn't have thought of that, or I've thought that in depth. Scorcher at the front, bam, good to go. Well, now, no, you got to balance it with this, and it's like, okay, no, I'm done. So honestly, great
Well,
job.
I'll tell you something else. You got to consider like all the spectrum of players too, and in particular, you got to consider the player that starts off at rank 1, so they don't get screwed by getting cryos and they can't kill an ER. Remember that, guys?
Worst
I
season
did, so don't
ever.
worry.
We've had that twice.
There's a lot of stuff you got to remember. Yeah.
That's been a situation in Warships twice now.
Yeah.
Typical never learning from their mistakes. Eh?
You've also got to think about what the maximum, like if I unlocked everything in this node, would it be too impossible for someone to even compete in? Because some people don't have Admiral Key. They can only get to a certain ER, so they might play that ER all season. So it has to be somewhat bearable. I know it gets nasty, but you know what I mean? It can't be impossible when it's fully filled out. There's a lot of stuff you got to keep in mind.
Yeah, there is lots and lots to go into it in there. Monetization as well is a big one for Supercell. It's about keeping it fun, keeping it engaging for the free-to-play players and achievable for free-to-play players, as well as being monetizable and all of it in there. It's just everything goes into these trees and stuff.
Double D, they're saying, I wouldn't mind a season with no heavy choppers, lots of D, with most matches determined by percentage, but need to be able to get a few ERs. Wasn't grounded. There was a season grounded, wasn't there, where we had no air troops, heavy choppers.
Had a couple of those, I think.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. I like the fact that I'd quite like to see less troops on the tech tree. We've spoken before about multi-choice nodes, and I think multi-choice nodes would be game-changing as far as the tech tree goes.
I'd like to see multi-choice nodes for troops, for boosts.
Multi-choice nodes for troops, and I'd also love to see, and I've been a huge advocate of this, I'll say it again, multi-choice for deck layout at the upgrade of each ER, so you get to choose one of 2 different paths you take with your deck layout. But maybe one day, who knows?
Ben Washbrook, I'd like a season with no barrage and artillery.
Yeah, why not?
To be fair, I don't see barrage and artillery having a major role to play in most seasons.
At the same time, too, those are like staples when it comes to like GBE abilities. I mean, I get why he's saying that, because nobody wants to go back to the 3 ER 6-7 second BART job meta. As long as the tech tree is being designed and built properly, which it is, we shouldn't run into that problem again. I know exactly what you're talking about, Remy, and as long as Supercell doesn't give us artillery and barrage for 3 ER, I don't think we'll run into that problem again.
That's what made 2 ER a bit more interesting this season. Is the fact that you've got no GBE abilities, nothing.
You're attacking Hammerman style. I mean, you can use some pretty decent funneling. Like I watched your 2 ER video, man. The Sparky's demolition charge actually came in handy a lot for 2 ER, especially dealing with boom cannons.
Yeah, for sure. Until you got bullet, and then it was all about shot knuckles.
Yep.
But I mean that it's different. You don't get to play with no GB abilities at all in this game, other than Warships. There's lots of times when you get extra ones, but it's not very often you get to play with none.
Well, it's funny when I think I did my 2 IT accounts obviously straight off the bat, and then my first non-IT account I started on the second day, and the first attack I went into, I launched all my troops and then sort of glanced down to see what gunboat abilities I had, and it was just blank.
Going on Lolo, welcome to the stream.
What am I going to do now? There's just no way you can guide, it's like Clash of Clans a little bit. There's no way to guide or do anything with the troops. It was just literally down to how you deploy.
I'll tell you what else makes it a bit interesting with the when you do get that barrage meta. where you bat 2 of the ERs and maybe clear a bit to the 3rd or whatever. It's those seasons and those situations where it becomes an advantage to not put out an ER, because if you starve your opponent of energy, they can't get the barrage that they need to get the last one down.
I've faced one of my non-IT accounts. I've gone to 3 ER, and I faced an opponent the other day who had 2 out of 3 ERs out. He had 2 rocket launchers, 2 boom cannons, and a machine gun, I think, on deck as his defense. The machine guns, they were the boom cannons, the machine gun were maxed, but he only had 2 and 1 out respectively, and he only had 2 rockets, or 2 of his 3 rocket launchers on deck, and it just wasn't enough GBE to be able to fire off enough energy drink to make it an effective hit.
Yeah. Ben Zen's just said to add the deck layout yourself would be fun. Then it would make it harder for players to copy bases off of other players. Yeah, it's about adding more variety. I think that's why this season works so well. Is because there is more variety, lots of it.
Oh, what was that, Shish?
They considered that actually at the onset of Warships when they were doing the initial designing, but they ruled it out due to complexity in terms of letting players design their decks. That was actually the initial vision of Warships, in fact, or part of the initial vision.
Right.
I don't see how.
How would you balance that?
Having a multiple choice, just when you get to unlock an EI, it gives you the option of like 2 or 3 sections you can choose from.
I don't even think you just need 2 sections.
They would need to be like 50-50 equal, like absolute no advantage from one deck layout to the other, which is why I think Supercell's only ever given us one deck layout, because I mean, even if one deck layout is favored like 51% to 49%, obviously players are still going to go in favor of the deck layout that's a little bit better. So unless Supercell would find a way to completely balance the option of players choosing their deck layout, I think that's the only issue that they have, because one might be better than the other, and then no one's going to choose the other one.
True.
The thing is, if you did that, then if you did that at every ER, when you got to the next, so if you did that at 3 ER, you got 2 deck layouts. Depending on which one you pick, would then have a bearing on what your 4 ER deck layout would be, what your 5 ER deck layout would be. And nobody's going to be able to predict that far ahead in the game.
Shout out to you, Lolo, coming in with a 279 super chat. Big shout out to you. Thank you for that. Lolo, we will spin the prize wheel for you, but we'll do it at the end of the stream, bud, right? And Beast does suck. That's a factual statement.
I really would love to see that 2 choice. You upgrade and you choose section A on the horizontal or section B on the vertical axis, for example. And then that's where you push on from there. And then when you upgrade to section 4, you get to choose again from this one or that one. I suppose from a coding point of view, the deeper you go into it, the more options would need to be available depending on where you'd gone with your path. Yeah, I suppose I can see why it might get a little bit complicated when you get to laying out the options at 6 ER.
Let's get back to this season, mate. One thing I haven't seen many people talk about this season is Seekers. Is everybody ruling Seekers out, or have people forgotten about Seekers?
Well, nobody is at. Oh, hold on, I've got my device open here.
No, I know nobody's at Seekers, but nobody's sort of making their sort of feelings known about Seekers.
I've got Bullet. So the account that I have Bullet on is already being catered towards Seekers. I mean,
yeah.
I think everyone, if you've never played with Seekers, you should at least try to experiment with them. I know they are like 100% like super not friendly for non-IT players, which does make it difficult for the non-IT players to actually use them, because you're pretty much getting one use out of them per battle, and then you're waiting for the reload. But yeah, I'm thinking Seekers, man. It's just, they're not till after 6 ER, so I think only a small majority of players are talking about it now because, it's actually in reach for them.
I know.
Weeks away, or at least a week away, I would say.
Cameron and Donnie are saying that they will have their window like always, and they have a small window right now, apparently.
I know that Pete's talking about taking one of his accounts. I can't remember which one.
He said he was committing. I think it was Pineappy to the Seeker. Yeah, I know what you're talking about too. Yeah. I did see that in the Sugar Ship chat. Like one of his accounts, he's going Seekers, and he's just going to be practicing and using Seekers, which I think is good. I think more players should, but of course, it's more favored for the instant training players due to their easy dying and long reload.
Interesting. Be interesting to see.
And the fact that you need all of them to make the hit effective.
Yes.
Do we have shock mines before or after Seekers?
Well,
Shock mines before. Well, it depends. Shock mines are actually in 5 on the rabbit hole path, whereas if you jump straight from 5 to 6, then Seekers are available afterwards. So technically they're before, but if you pick up shock mines, you either go the rabbit hole path and you either go the rabbit hole path and you're not going to be playing Seekers,
you are totally committing.
Or you commit to Seekers, in which case you probably have picked up the necessary tool to play Seekers with. So you've got smoke, you've got critters, you've got artillery, you've got troop health, you've got troop damage, you've got everything you need to make those Seekers effective. Because there's no point in playing with them if you haven't got all the tools you need.
Aaron, can you get Donnie's comment on the screen?
Anyone playing Warriors has all the tools for Seekers when they get there. That's true.
And
yes, that is a very good point.
Because you're catered. Chances are you've got bullet. Chances are you've got smoke. Chances are you've got the gunboat energy to back it up as well. So I agree with Donnie. If you are playing Bullet and Warriors, whether you realize it or not, you are actually setting yourself up for Seeker hits.
That's the thing, isn't it? That if you're going that way, Warriors, Bullet, smoke, bullet, artillery, critters, you're going to have 3 or 4 of those 5 tools that you need to make Warriors effective. So then all you've got to do is know how they path.
What's going on, Commander Rob? Cameron says a Seeker player was doing 305 on a 5VR with shock mines. Is that quick?
That's dirty.
Is that quick?
That's fast. That's fast, man. I was watching Dr. Phoenix yesterday in Rex Discord, and I think he was hitting with it was rifleman. It was either rifleman or mech bomba, but anyways, it was like 2 minutes. 2 minutes was like the average. So if they're pulling it in 55 seconds, that is freaking that is fast. That is very fast.
See, I love Seekers. I'd love nothing more than to see Seekers at 2ER. I'd play Seekers for the entire season quite happily. I know that would upset many people.
Because at 2ER, can you imagine the carnage?
I'd love that.
Honestly, they'd have to give you shock launchers and shock mines to start to counter that. But yeah that would be pretty fun.
Yeah, 100%.
And flamethrowers.
And flamethrowers. And no shot. I know nothing to actually benefit them on offense.
and
DVD.
Would you like to see a season then without bombardiers? Because Lolo's comment, if I can find it, it's gone. He has a love-hate relationship with bombardiers or something, I think it was.
This might sound a little stupid, but I'm going to say it anyways. I don't think we should be taking troops out. I mean, I think if anything, we should be adding more troops in. Obviously, I know.
Yeah, true.
I know Supercell obviously is not going to be adding any more troops, or at least that's not the intentions at all. But I don't think taking our current troops out is gonna solve anything. It'd be nice if they added new troops. But
let me just say again, I tried. Well, not to take it out, but I tried to push it back. I tried to push the Bombardier back to 6ER where Scorcher is, because trust me, I know I play the game too. But they put them up front, so they had a reason for it. Don't know what it is. Maybe it's a non-IT thing, because at least they're competitive. They gotta have fun, right? You can't lose the non-IT. I don't know what the idea of that was, but I tried.
Yeah, I like Seekers. I like Bombardiers. I think they.
Having
them deep in the tree forces you to play the other strats, doesn't it?
I wouldn't say bombers are game breaking, but since their introduction, they've certainly changed the game.
Oh hell yeah, changed everything.
AZ on the OG map is just a thing of the past now, isn't it? Yeah. You either drop all Scorchers and let them do their thing, or if you got a bit more time on your hands, you can do a Scorcher Gramps hit, and you can still complete the hit and lose nothing. Which obviously has effect on intel.
Cameron, you're saying there are new troops in the files. Leakers have seen them. What you see in the game files don't mean nothing, because Supercell put things in the game files all the time to test different things, to try different things out on like the dev builds and things like that. That goes into the live game. So what you see in the game files means absolutely nothing when it comes to pictures and stuff. I mean, when they leaked different things before, none of it meant nothing. It was just stuff they were testing out. So pinch of salt with what you see in the game files. And also, let's not leak nothing, because that just ruins it for everybody, doesn't it?
I love bombers, but you kind of think that they haven't ruined the game, but they've changed it.
Well, they've given us all. I don't know if you guys have mentioned it. I had to jump off for like 30 seconds here, but they've given us like different alterations of the bombardiers. Like we've got our ice bombers, which suck. We've got our melon bombers, which rule.
Development.
Oh, fair enough. Because you're just taking
lazy development. It's the same.
You're
troop,
taking a current troop and tweaking it.
It's the same troop. It looks the same. It acts the same. It does more or less the same thing, but it just does something slightly different. You know.
Yeah.
Like the Gren that shock stuff, and the cryo that shock stuff, and the bombardier that freezes stuff, and
don't forget about the incinerator.
And the incinerator is just a scorcher that burns itself as well. You know. It's just
Scorcher on fire, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lazy development. Bite me, sue me. It is what it is.
I noticed that's a pattern. With like, well, not to drift off topic too far here, but like a pattern with a lot of Supercell games. Like I'm just going to use Clash Royale as an example here. You take a current troop like the Giant, and then you make it a Royal Giant, and then you make it an Electro Giant. You just literally take the same troop and just Super Giant. Yes, you just literally you tweak it a little bit. So,
yeah.
But then again, at the same time too, Clash Royale has like 100+ cards, so at least they've got more troops than our what 9, 10, 11?
I'd be more than happy to see the troops doing it's the same thing but slightly different. If they put a different skin on it. I mean, who wants to see a cryoneer on the battle, but it's shocking stuff, or a bombardier that's freezing stuff, or a scorcher that looks no different than.
Here we go for our weekly campaign for a bullet ballerina skin.
Hashtag bullet ballerina.
Yeah, we need a bullet ballerina skin for a reals.
There's always
You're listening, Nuno. We are not going to stop until we get bullet ballerina.
Well, I was going to say, doesn't matter what Boom Talk, what the topic is about. There's always at least one point where the skin comes up.
Yeah.
So I think the more we talk about it, nonchalantly,
the more we can be
slowly
ignored.
Pushing it. Yes, or be ignored.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna drop
Ben,
my
I
bullet
wouldn't want
emoji.
skins. Skins are great for monetization. Monetization is great for updates and content.
Yeah, monetization is great for the game. As much as people as stand in the way object to it, I've never put any money into any mobile game ever. Okay, that's your standpoint. But without monetization, there is no game. So yeah, skins are great for that.
If you enter a game and there are 100 completely different kinds of troops, it's difficult to comprehend. That's a very valid point. That's why I don't like Clash of Clans, because there's just too many troops to do too many different things, and it's just.
I was just using it as an example. I didn't want to drift off topic too much.
Yeah,
it's just same concepts,
convoluted.
Same troop, and you just add something new to it.
Yeah. What? I suppose we should reconvene somewhere near the end of the season. Do you think? Should we come back at the end and see where everybody's sort of at then? I think most people are still very much on the fence right now. I don't think people know where they're going in the season. I don't think anybody's sort of committed to a long-term strategy yet, do you?
That's because it's not predictable like a lot of other seasons have been. It's, like we were saying earlier, do I race to heavy choppers? If I race to heavy choppers, I'm going to have to miss out on this proto, that hero.
It's too diverse, and there's too much to cover. Like even if any one of us content creators try to, verify and test out every single meta on the dev build against every ER layout with all the different paths. Guys, we'd be doing that for days upon days, probably weeks upon weeks with all the diversity in paths. You wouldn't. So there's just no way to figure it all out, which I think is part of the, part of, what am I trying to say here? Part of the allure to it. Nobody knows really what they're doing. They have an idea.
My signal's dropping bad here, boys. I think we're gonna dip for a second. I think.
Yeah, no worries.
It's come back now, but it's gonna have a fit in a minute, I think. Somebody put 50p in the Wi-Fi.
Give the hamster a kick.
Give the hamster a go kick, yeah. But yeah, I reckon we should reconvene at the end of the season and see where, see where everybody's at. See what everybody thought this season.
It's only a fortnight away.
I can't wait to see what Supercell do or say after this season. I think they got to. I think the more attention we bring to how good the season is in the community and get people talking about it, I think the
Supercell needs to hold a poll on their YouTube channel at the end of the season to get like at least a decent gauge.
Get some feedback, yeah. When they do their stats posts and they say so many ERs destroyed and so many battles fought and all that kind of jazz, they put it up on their socials.
Yep.
I'd love to see one of them for this season and compare it to a previous season. Because
might not be a bad idea.
I think if they don't do the comparison and don't see it for what it is, I think they'd be absolutely foolish. I think they'd be stupid.
Shish, have you got any idea of what next season is going to hold, given that it's off the back of your season, or are you just completely as blind to it as the rest of us?
There's no way to answer that question. I mean, even if I did, I couldn't answer it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's good. Okay. It just you kind of like wonder, when you've had something so good, where do you go?
Well, so let's speculate, right? I mean, if hypothetically, how do we do this? My guess is that there won't be. It'll just be probably back to normal, or maybe I think the name of that one is it's going to be a throwback. That my real guess and my hope maybe is that it's a throwback. Maybe we get like season 1 again or something. That would be cool.
That'd be sick.
With the chest glitch and 16 rocket launchers.
Minus the glitches. Yeah.
No, bring the glitches too. They were fun.
Well, or you remember you could do the whole ER glitch, like if you didn't put your ER on the deck, but you'd get all the tech. But that was good.
There was two. There was two really good ones. If you just had to scout somebody on the leaderboard and you got a free chest.
Oh yeah.
There was not they're not placing ERs.
Magic accounts, yeah.
They're not placing ERs meant you could unlock all the way up to 7 ER, but if you only had two out, you'd only match 2 ER players. It was brilliant. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was barraging them out with glee. And then I felt bad after like 4 or 5 times.
Then the remorse sets in.
Yeah, it does. And then I had to do it for scientific purposes for shooting the video. Just
of course.
No, he's right.
We always do these things for science.
Well, you got to test it out, and then once you figure out that it's actually working or it's viable, then you have to record it, which means you have to do it again. So yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what next season brings. Whatever it'll be.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll all be covering it. I mean, I'm gonna try and make the effort to play from now on. I've kind of enjoyed this season. It's got me to a good place in the trophy road. So I'll have a half decent start next season as well. So
you never know. You might even finish in diamond, mate.
I might even finish in diamond, Martin. You're damn right. I'm trying.
With 2 weeks left and with your current positioning, yeah, man, absolutely, you can finish in diamond.
You should do. You might even finish above me this season, because I really want this calculator done and dusted for next season.
That's no excuse, though. You know that, yeah? That's no excuse. If I finish above you...
No, you're right.
You know what's going to come
I'm
of it.
sacked.
I
won't hear the last of it, will I?
What did you say, Christian? If I get Scorchers with 2 troop health, is it worth to go to 70R for choppers if Scorchers already do the job, or instead should I go for the rabbit hole and add more troop health and protos? Please help.
This is something that we were discussing not half an hour ago in stream, was it not?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, it's a good question. And I mean, yeah, I predicted that being a very strong meta. I called that as the meta. I said Scarchy.
Scarchy,
Scorcher, and Bombardier. Or Scarchy, Yeah.
Scarchy, I like that.
Scarchy. No, just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I think so. My thing is I think the Scorchers are going to bring more DPS too, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I think Scorchers are strong this season. Maybe stronger than Heavy Choppers. That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
What did you say? They had 108,000 with all the troop health.
107, I think, something like that. A little bit
yeah.
over 100,000.
Heavy Choppers.
A little bit over 100,000.
Heavy Choppers Heavy Chopper's base stat for health is 19,500. Scorcher base stat is 25,000. The Scorcher is going to tank the Heavy Chopper with troop health.
Yeah, so if you put 150% on that,
You see what I mean? It starts
I
to
see.
make
I
that
see
difference.
exactly what you mean, Shish.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
You
insane.
see what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
It's Scorchers, not Heavy Choppers.
Yeah, I think Scorchers are going to be the better play for sure.
Well, they have 5,500 more HP on them just from their base starting stats. You add on that, you max them out. You add on the 150 TH. That's gonna be.
It'll only be one per boat, but then you get
Still.
Correct.
you
only
still
one
get
per
you
boat.
still get the
That's
same.
why
You only
they-
get one per boat of heavy choppers as well, except the heavy choppers land loads of heavies as well. That's the only advantage really they'd have.
but
But
this is
zero
the
heavy.
thing: is a hit is going to take. I feel that a hit at that stage is going to take so long to do that the length of the hit is going to kind of somewhat negate the amount of heavy choppers that the heavies that the heavy chopper poops out.
Candy got the bot.
I went for it, Aaron. She was quick.
I think that's a huge. That's something
Yeah.
that's quite huge.
I guess sort of the takeaway is watch this space. I think what we've said here tonight is probably gonna ring true and probably ruin a few people's plans, and they'll have to go back to the drawing board, which is
Well,
Which is
hopefully
good.
it's made a few people consider
Rethink
where
it,
they're going to go from this point. I mean,
Yeah.
I would imagine that most people are now are at 4 ER in some capacity, whether they've just gone or just about to go 4 ER, or whether they are just ensconced in 4 ER or even just leaving 4 ER. I think it's only really the top echelons that are sort of into 5 now.
yeah, 100%.
I think for the general population, they're about 4 ER at the moment, so sort of halfway through the tree after the first season. And as I think Shish predicted last season, the beginning was the first week was going to be sort of fairly straightforward, to sort of ranging to medium difficulty in the second week through to a tough final week. And so far that's been borne out, hasn't it?
I just want to. Sorry, no, that was great, Martin. I just don't want to answer this before I lose it from John Doppelhauer. John asks, how much is it to launch the Scorchers? The Scorcher is 8 GBE to deploy, so one Scorcher will be 8. If you can launch all 8 of your landing crafts in one go, that'll be 64 GBE to deploy your full fleet of Scorchers.
Which is the same as a heavy chopper, is it not?
Yes, exactly the same.
Falcor, it wasn't Falcor, sorry. I think so, I was going to read it out. But you have to consider with the heavy choppers is you'll also have to upgrade heavies, which is more keys and more
People need
tokens.
to realize that if you're going heavy chopper and you haven't picked up your heavies, well then you're attacking with freaking level 1 heavies.
So the whole trade-off between Scorchers and heavy chopper, another factor to that is, one, it's going to take you longer to get there if you're going to grab heavies on the way, or if you grab heavies later, you're going to be playing with underpowered heavy choppers for a bit until you get those keys. So
Cameron for the win says, when will we get 2
Scorchers.
per boat? You won't.
You won't.
In
not
a
on
nutshell.
Warships. Not on Warships, you won't.
It would just mess with the balancing too much.
Yeah, it'll
That's
ruin
too
it.
overpowered. That's way too
yeah.
overpowering.
It'll ruin it.
Yeah.
Like it ruined the main
16
base.
Scorchers. 16 Scorchers running around on a deck on Warship with 150 troop damage. What are you going to want? I think you're going to want like 6 or 700 building health to kind of balance that, aren't you?
Yeah. Well,
Half the
I
tree
think
would
if,
need to be building health nodes.
I think if you guys have covered everything you guys want to cover, I think we'll have to reconvene at the end of the season and see where everybody's at.
So that's 2 weeks today, isn't it?
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
If we do it like,
I think
if we
I think it'll be better to.
do a stream like the day before it ends or something, so it's not like after.
Well, we
before.
do it on the. Can we do it on the Sunday?
Sunday would be on the last day. I mean, I don't
yeah.
mind doing it.
If,
Once again, based on everyone's availability, obviously not a
I
problem.
can work around you guys, so we can sort it out anyway. We'll sort it out off the stream. We'll reconvene come the end of the season and see where everybody's at. Hopefully, we'll try and get I don't know, some input maybe from Nuno. See if he can, I don't know, let us know what they're thinking from Supercell. Maybe at this point.
I think we'd like to know how much improvement on playing statistics has there been this season?
I mean, I can ask the question.
How
yes.
much more engagement has there been this season? Can he give us some stats on like you say, that reflect the engagement this season compared with maybe the last 2 or 3 seasons, when it maybe for some people was just starting to get a little bit stale and repetitive with heavy rush, bombardier, seeker, heavy choppers.
We can ask it and see what he says, but yeah, we'll reconvene at the end of the season then and see if we can get some info from them for it. But yeah, for now, guys, I guess enjoy your warships. Let us know how you're getting on.
Just quickly, you've got 2 spins to do, one for Fernsey Mac and one for Lolo.
Yeah, I know. I was just getting there.
Okay.
Everybody's reminding me, you guys rock. Thanks for the stream. No worries, as you do. Big shout out to you.
I'm just gonna read. I'm just gonna read Pete's comment here. My opinion, queue times are a lot longer this season. Plus, a lot of people were in leg or diamond way earlier. So we were talking about that earlier, Pete. So it's still like 10 hours before the legendary rank 1 opens up. But there's literally like 5-6 players already sitting on the doorstep, man. So yeah, it's gonna happen today. Or tomorrow, whenever.
Let's spin the prize wheel for the guys who donated. So up first was Fernsey Mac. I don't know if you're still out there, bud, but we're going to spin the wheel for you. Let's see what you get.
Bush hiding.
Grab yourself a t-shirt. He's the first person to grab one of the big prizes. So big shout out to you, Fernsey.
He's going to be happy with that.
Hell yeah. I'll hit you up with a message shortly after the stream or whatnot, or tomorrow. And the other one was for Lolo. So good luck, Lolo.
So Fern's got a shirt. Lolo's gonna get like 5 critter coins?
10,000 critter coins. Nicely done, you guys.
Lolo would be happy with muting beast.
Yeah, for sure. And can you give Lolo his coins, and I'll message Fernsey Mac after the stream if he's not still in chat.
Oh, no worries, Pete. Meant last season we had at least we had a lot in legendary last season.
If you guys are wondering in chat how you get to spin the wheel, it's for our way of sort of saying thanks and giving back to the people who donate on the stream, especially the regulars.
It's a good idea. I might add that to mine.
Yeah, for sure.
Might poach it. Poach it,
yeah, by all means, poach it. On here, for the prizes we've got...
We can license it too. We can license the idea to you, Scully. It's not a problem.
Yeah, we want commission. We want skull coins by commission,
Yeah, not as if Streamlabs offers a spin wheel similar, but I love it.
So on the prizes, you can get... you can double your coins. You can triple your coins. We can play the ballerina ball clip. You can win 10,000 coins, the Artie keychain, 50,000 coins, a t-shirt, 100,000 coins, or you can mute somebody in chat just for a bit of fun.
I have that artillery keychain, and it's really cool. I don't even put it on my keys, man. It's too cool. It just stays on the shelf.
Yeah, the link's in the chat now. The bot's been spitting the link out in the chat. So yeah, anybody who just puts a dono into the channel gets a spin while we're live. Hopefully, or maybe bag yourself something cool for it. So there's that. I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks, Shisk, for coming on, and Scully, as always.
Thanks, Shisk. Thanks, Aaron. Martin.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, no, appreciate both you guys finding the time to come and share your thoughts.
Heck yes.
Streaming out time. You appreciate me sending friends a jumper instead. So yeah, guys, we'll wrap it up there for this episode of Boom Talk. We will be back. We'll be back with Warships. What day is it today? Sunday. On Tuesday, I'll come and play some Warships at 3 or 4 AR. Maybe jump. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Take care, guys.
Laters.